In March of 2020, our lives really did change in such a big way. The pandemic hit, and at first we thought it would be just 2 weeks. But that 2 weeks has turned into almost 2 years. Now we're dealing with the Omicron variant, and that's causing some anxiety for some of us, especially with holiday gatherings happening just about everywhere. I talked to Dr. Nicole Fox from St. Luke's Behavioral Health. She specializes in psychiatry and lifestyle medicine, and she has some good advice for managing what you may be feeling right now. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Fox. We appreciate it. Let's start out with 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, when this all began. No one thought we were going to be here today, entering 2022. There's a lot of fear about this new variant.
Isn't it wild where we are now? Here we are, nearly 2 years later, and we're exhausted. People are exhausted. What we've seen is that we're all on a roller coaster. We're all on a roller coaster that doesn't seem to have an end at the moment.
There are things we can control and there are things we cannot control. So let's talk about that.
We all thought, okay, that surge is dying down and now we can move on, and here we have this new variant. So what can we do? The stressors are massive, even for the most resilient people. The things that are not in my control are the new variants. The things that are in my control, to some extent at least, are how I respond to the stress in my life. I can keep masking, I can hand sanitize, wash my hands, get vaccinated. What I like to tell people to do is the very most important thing. The very most important thing you can do for yourself is find connection. So if you're a person who doesn't have any family nearby, friends nearby, have lost touch with people throughout the pandemic, and sort of find yourself alone and isolated, this might be the time to find a group on one of the social media outlets that has a similar interest. There are interest groups for everything online now. So that's one thing I would recommend. Absolutely find a way to connect with people.
Let's talk about holiday gatherings. Some people take this much more seriously than others. What are your suggestions for people who are nervous about gatherings?
I think it's very normal to be nervous. It's okay. But I think this is a time that it's okay to be forthright and find ways to ask questions that are on your mind. Will I be masking? Do you know if the folks who are coming, the invitees, will be vaccinated? Will we be eating? Will it be outside? And as long as you come from a place of curiosity and not judgment, that's okay. It's okay to ask important questions. And if you decide for yourself, oh, I'm not ready yet. We've got this new variant and I'm not sure what to make of it. I think it's okay to say, thank you so much for the invitation. Could you keep me in mind for next year?
What if someone in your life or you get to the point where you have so much fear that your life is just not going the way you need it to go? Should you reach out and talk to someone? Should you get help?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's the daily stressors and the things that we're all going through that are manageable. And when things become unmanageable, we need to take them very seriously. I want you to reach out to your primary care team. Talk to them about, is this the time for me to have a referral to therapy? Is this the time for me, I'm so depressed or I'm so anxious, do I need medication management for those things? If you start feeling like there is no way out of this for you, you cannot live your life, I want you to call that suicide hotline or call 911, get help. What I don't want you to do is sit and suffer alone, because this is a big world, and even though we're all alone at moments in it, you are not alone.
That is so true. You are not alone if you're having these feelings. So for more resources, go to ktvb.com, click on the Hello Idaho tab. We have a lot of helpful articles there.